ดีค่ะขออนุญาตสวัสดีทุกท่านนะคะอันนี้ก็ถือเป็นเกียรติอย่างยิ่งนะคะที่จะได้มีโอกาสมาพบกับทุกท่านนะคะในการประชุมเสวนาวิชาการนานาชาตินะคะซึ่งในวันนี้จริงๆแล้วดรสุรพงษ์เอิมอุทัยนะคะผู้ช่วยเลขาคณะกรรมการการยศึกษาจะกรุณามาช่วยเปิดการประชุมนะคะแต่ว่าท่านติดภารกิจสำคัญแล้วก็เร่งด่วนนะคะก็วันนี้ขออนุญาตได้เป็นผู้แทนนะคะได้กล่าวต้อนรับกับทุกท่านนะคะก็ในวันนี้เองนะคะ การประชุมเสวนาวิชาการนานาชาตินะคะก็ถือว่าเป็นพื้นที่การเรียนรู้นะคะสำหรับทุกท่านนะคะโดยเฉพาะท่านผู้บริหารสถานศึกษานะคะครูอาจารย์แล้วก็บุคลากรทางการศึกษาแล้วก็ภาคส่วนต่างๆนะคะวันนี้ถ้าดูจากรายชื่อเนี่ยไม่ได้มีเพียงแค่ภาคการศึกษาที่เข้ามานะคะยังมีภาคส่วนอื่นเข้ามาร่วมด้วยถือว่าได้ให้ความสำคัญแล้วก็สนใจในประเด็นเรื่องของการพัฒนาทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์นะคะซึ่ง การเรื่องของพัฒนาทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์เนี่ยมีความสำคัญอย่างไรนะคะอันนี้ก็อาจจะต้องขออนุญาตได้ลองเล่าให้ฟังถึงกสนะคะแล้วก็ธนาคารโลกนะคะได้มีการสำรวจนะคะทักษะและความพร้อมของเยาวชนและประชากรแรงงานนะคะเมื่อปีที่แล้วนะคะก็พบว่าทักษะที่สำคัญนะคะของเยาวชนแล้วก็ประชากรแรงงานของไทยเนี่ยเราเรียกว่าทักษะพื้นฐานชีวิตหรือ foundational skill นะคะซึ่งหนึ่งในนั้นค่ะคือทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์ ที่มีความสำคัญอย่างยิ่งนะคะแล้วเราก็พบว่าทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์เนี่ยของเด็กและเยาวชนและประชากรแรงงานของไทยเนี่ยยังอยู่ในระดับที่น้อยอยู่นะคะ30%นะคะยังขาดเรื่องของการเปิดการคิดค้นคว้าอ่าเปิดใจกับสิ่งใหม่นะคะอีก30%เปอร์เซ็นต์เนี่ยก็ยังขาดเรื่องของการมีส่วนร่วมกับผู้อื่นนะคะซึ่งตรงนี้เองเนี่ยก็ถือว่าเป็นสถานการณ์ที่เชื่อมั่นว่า ผู้บริหารสถานศึกษาครูอาจารย์ทุกท่านนะคะสามารถมีส่วนร่วมในการที่จะส่งเสริมทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์ให้กับเยาวชนของไทยได้นะคะอ่าแล้วก็นอกจากนี้ค่ะทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์เนี่ยชื่ออาจจะดูใหม่นะคะแต่จริงๆแล้วเนี่ยหลายท่านอาจจะพอรู้จักในชื่ออื่นว่าจะเป็นทักษะศตวรรษที่11นะคะอ่าทักษะอนาคตอะไรเงี้ยนะคะอันนี้ก็จริงๆมีความหมายคล้ายๆกันค่ะแต่ว่าเนื่องจากเพื่อที่จะเป็นการเน้นย้ำให้เห็นว่า ทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์เนี่ยสำคัญก็จึงเรียกว่าทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์แล้วกันนะคะก็ตรงนี้เองค่ะโลกเป็นทักษะที่สำคัญนะคะนายจ้างก็เช่นเดียวกันค่ะถ้าเราไปถามนายจ้างเนี่ยก็จะพบว่ามองหาทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์จากเยาวชนรุ่นใหม่นี่แหละค่ะถึงจะรับเข้าทำงานนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องของความยืดหยุ่นการเห็นอกเห็นใจนะคะความกระตือรือร้นอยากรู้อยากเห็นอยากเรียนรู้อันนี้คือทักษะที่นายจ้างมองเห็นซึ่งก็คือองค์ประกอบของทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์ที่เราจะพูดถึงในวันนี้นะคะซึ่งตรงนี้เองค่ะทางกสแล้วก็สำนักงานคณะกรรมการการศึกษาหรือว่าสอสเนี่ยกำลังอยู่มีความร่วมมือในการขับเคลื่อนเรื่องนี้อยู่นะคะซึ่งก็จะได้มีโอกาสทำงานกับคุณครูผู้บริหารสถานศึกษาทุกท่านต่อไปด้วยนะคะทีนี้กลับมาที่เวทีในวันนี้ค่ะก็ต้องบอกว่าเป็นเวทีครั้งแรกนะคะที่เราจัดประเด็นเรื่องทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์แล้วก็ต้องบอกว่าจะเป็นการเรียนรู้ที่สำคัญอย่างยิ่งจะเห็นนวัตกรรมการทำงานจากประเทศมองโกเลียนะคะซึ่งเป็นประเทศที่ไม่ได้อยู่ไม่ได้ใกล้ไม่ได้ไกลจากประเทศไทยนะคะแต่ต้องบอกว่าเป็นประเทศที่ธนาคารโลกนะคะให้การยกย่องว่ามีการปฏิรูปการศึกษาโดยการใส่โจทย์เรื่องของทักษะสังคมและอารมณ์เนี่ยเข้าไปให้กับนักเรียนนักศึกษาของมองโกเลียเนี่ยแทบจะทุกชั้นเรียนนะคะก็คือเป็นการไปรูปการศึกษาครั้งใหญ่ของมองโกเลียที่ให้ความสำคัญกับโจทย์เรื่องนี้นะคะเพื่อเตรียมความพร้อมของเยาวชนเด็กและเยาวชนของมองโกเลียเนี่ยเข้าไปสู่โลกของการทำงานในอนาคตนะคะก็คิดว่าในวันนี้เองค่ะการเรียนรู้ว่ามองประเทศมองโกเลียนะคะมีนวัตกรรมการเรียนการสอนอย่างไรนะคะที่นำไปสู่ส่งเสริมทักษะด้านนี้แล้วก็เป็นผู้ประกอบการได้ด้วยเนี่ยก็น่าสนใจอย่างยิ่งนะคะแล้วก็ถือว่าเป็นประเทศชั้นนำที่คิดริเริ่มการทำงานเรื่องนี้ในภูมิภาคนี้ด้วยนะคะอีกท่านหนึ่งก็คือท่านอาจารย์ประทินนะคะอันนี้ก็ได้รับเกียรติจากท่านอาจารย์ประทินเป็นอย่างยิ่งนะคะท่านอาจารย์ประทินก็เป็นครูอาชีวศึกษาที่ทุกท่านคุ้นหน้าคุ้นตาเป็นอย่างดีนะคะท่านอยู่ในวงการอาชีวศึกษาเนี่ยมานานมากท่านเป็นครูสุดยอดครูไทยนะคะของรางวัลสมเด็จเจ้าฟ้ามหาจักรีนะคะแล้วก็ทั้งชีวิตท่านเองนะคะท่านก็บ่มเพาะให้เยาวชนเป็นผู้ประกอบการนะคะให้ประชาชนเป็นผู้ประกอบการด้วยนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยบทเรียนของทั้งสองประเทศนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นประเทศมองโกเลียเองแล้วก็ประเทศไทยที่มีตัวอย่างของการทำงานเพื่อส่งเสริมทักษะอนาคตให้กับเยาวชนของเราเนี่ยก็เชื่อมั่นว่าจะเป็นการเรียนรู้ที่ จะสามารถให้กับทุกท่านนะคะนำไปใช้ประโยชน์ได้เป็นอย่างดีนะคะแล้วก็น่าจะสร้างแรงบันดาลใจให้กับผู้บริหารครูอาจารย์ทุกท่านในการทำงานเพื่อขับเคลื่อนพัฒนาเยาวชนให้ตอบโจทย์ความท้าทายใหม่ๆที่เรากำลังเผชิญอยู่ได้ด้วยนะคะก็ขออนุญาตขอบคุณนะคะทางวิทยากรทั้งสองท่านแล้วก็รวมไปถึงผู้เข้าร่วมทุกท่านนะคะที่จะมีโอกาสมาแลกเปลี่ยนเรียนรู้กันในวันนี้ค่ะก็ so thank you so much for our distinguished speakers and also our participants. So I just would like to address for our delegate from Mongolia, Mr. Yondon Jam. We are indeed very grateful for you being here, and we look forward to learn from you. แล้วก็อาจารย์ประทิน as well. อาจารย์ประทิน has been a good friend, of EF for a very long time, and we are much appreciate for your continued support, and we look forward to working both of you. Thank you so much.
ขอบคุณท่านผอ.ธนธิดาบุญประเสริฐนะครับในส่วนของการเปิดการประชุมแล้วก็ความสำคัญนะครับของทักษะ SEL นะครับที่เดี๋ยวจะมีความร่วมมือนะครับระหว่างกสศทางธนาคารโลก World Bank แล้วก็ทางสอสด้วยกันนะครับมาพัฒนาโจทย์อันนี้ไปด้วยกันกับทางสถานศึกษานะครับก็ในสิ่งลำดับถัดไปนะครับเดี๋ยวผมขอเรียนเชิญท่านวิทยากรนะครับMr. ยมดาวายดมจันทร์นะครับได้นำเสนอในข้อ entrepreneurship and social emotional learning นะครับในกรณีศึกษาจากประเทศมองโกเลีย So thank you so much, Mr. Yodonjam. So the floor is yours. You may present your presentation.
Actually, this project that has been started the end of the 2019 in November, and it was finished by the June of the 2025, which means we already implemented this project. So we now are at the stage to make it sustainable to our education settings and try to bring the best practice into the real life at this stage. So within this stage, I'm really grateful to share the experiences, our ideas with you, my Thai colleagues, especially who are working in the vocational education sector and learning centers, and also who are joining from the local administratives. So it's my great pleasure to sharing our experience here. So I have to change. Okay. So at the beginning of my presentation, I would like to say some few words about the Mongolia. Yeah? Mongolia is located between Russia and China. Probably you know very well. So the land is quite big, 1.56 million square kilometers. So which means 3 times higher than the Thailand. Yeah, Thailand land. But our population is quite small, 3.5 million. Which is the less than 20 times less than Thai population. I would say that. Yeah. We have the 21 provinces and plus the Ulaanbaatar, which is the capital city, and also we have the 330 districts, which we called in Mongolian language it is Sum. Yeah, and in further the presentation, maybe I mentioned about the Sum, which means the Sum is a district, one of the districts in Mongolia. So we are very rich by the livestock. We have the 65 million livestock in Mongolia. If you look at the segregation by the type of the livestock, you can see here, for instance, we have the modern about the 30 million sheep, so on. Yeah, so our GDP reached by the end of the last year, 2024, it reached to $23.6 billion US. So if you look at the GDP per capita, it is the 6,200, which means according to the World Bank, the income category we reached to the middle and upper middle income country. So the economic sector in my country is agriculture and industry and service sector. We also the very rich by the mining, coal mining, and copper mining. So I think we have the same understanding about the project sites. So that's why I just give the one example here. For instance, this is one of the project districts, which is the SOM. If you look at the map here, maybe I can use the laser pointer. Yeah, yes. If you look at the map of that province, here's Gochungos, which is the district which we are implementing our project here. So if you look at the land of this SOM is quite smaller, only the 475,000 hectares, and population is quite small, a little bit more than the 2,000, and there are only the more than 600 households out there. Yeah. If you look at the village center, this is a photo of the image of that village center. Yeah. So in the village center, the limited number of the households and populations are there, and other older families just moving around that the village center. Yeah. Each school, the village, the SOM district has their own school. So if you look at the school number, there is only the one school. There is the students number is a little bit more than 300. Only the 23 teachers are working there, and net enrollment is rated 82%. And the school has the dormitory for the nomadic. Right now, only the 47 students are living there. So on, yeah. So the SOM has the lifelong education center, which is the alternative education opportunity for the out of school youth, including the out of school children as well. So that center right now, only the 22 trainees and one teacher working there. If you look at the employment rate, that district, it is the 13%, and again the livestock, the very rich, it is more than 130,000. Yeah, the poverty rate is quite okay, I would say. It is the 4%, a little bit more than 4%. But the distance is very big issue here. So if you look at the location of this district from the provincial center, it is 105 kilometers far away from the provincial center. And if you look at from the capital city of Ulaanbaatar, it is more than 500 kilometers far away from the capital center. So our education system is quite similar with the international other countries. We are using the semester international trend in our education system. We have the 6 years primary education, 3 years lower secondary, and 3 years upper secondary education. Our project Molly, working with the lower secondary, upper grades of the lower secondary and upper secondary schools. As well as addition to that, our formal education system, we have the lifelong education system. Within the lifelong education system, we have the non-formal education equivalency program for the out of school children, so on. So if you look at our education system is quite similar with the other countries, yeah. So maybe the lifelong education part is a bit different, but it's quite similar with the Thai, I hope. So we have some challenges within the education system, as well as in the rural areas. I would like to highlight some of them here, which was our rationale to implement this project in our rural areas. So first of all, the formal education system is very much academic. Yeah. It is lecture-based, very much academic, very much scientific. So that's why the teaching learning approach is also quite academic as well. So that's why the academic content is very difficult to use in everyday life. Yeah. So they have the reach of the knowledge, but the application of the knowledge in real life is quite challenging, I would say, in Mingyur. So Also, the lack of the soft skills, including the social-emotional skills among youth, is questionable in Mingeya. Always the employees said that our young generations, the soft skills is really need to improve. Yeah. So another thing is that because of distance disparities between the urban and rural areas is quite high, and in the rural areas it is very difficult in terms of the finding the job, the employment opportunities, and also the market size is quite limited because the very few population are there, yeah, and also very much isolated from the central urban areas. So that's why we implemented this project together with the World Bank, the management, and financial assistance by the Japanese Social Development Fund for 5.5 years. Yeah, the objective of that the project was to train the vulnerable, disadvantaged youth in our remote areas with the social emotional skills for improved performance in academic studying and also the preparation for the employment, especially the self-employment, because the employment opportunities quite limited in our rural areas. So this project has the three main components. First one is very familiar with us right now, which is the development and implementation of the entrepreneurship of social emotional skills. Yeah, so we had developed the own content on that, own the training package on that. So within that component one, we have the two subcomponents. First one was obviously this development of such the innovative and local tailored the training program. And second one is the quite important implementing that training program, which is the establishment of the multi-stakeholder coordination and network platform to support the implementation of that training program. I will a little bit elaborate about this later on, yeah, in my coming slides. The second component is dealing with the introduction of the small grant the mechanism to enable youth to apply the entrepreneurship knowledge in real life. Yeah, that is quite interesting, quite successful cases, I would say, in Mingeya. So third one is quite obvious for us, which is the project management and administration, the monitoring evaluation of the project, and knowledge dissemination. Yeah. So at the beginning of the project, we really tried that we have to implement this project using the system approach. Yeah. Otherwise, it's very difficult to bring such kind of the innovative and new things in our settings, especially in the rural areas. So that's why at the beginning of the project, we established the ECL ecosystem. So that's we created the logo for our research training, yeah, which you have seen on the top of this slide. So if you look at this diagram, we have the 5 steps to implement this project, which is started from the public awareness and outreach activities, then the sales training, then the small grant, the competition, providing some small grants to implement their business idea in real life. So then we have the mentoring and coaching services to them, to the youth teams who are implementing the business ideas in real life. Yeah. So the last one, not least, this is the assessment of all those activities and experience sharing. Experience sharing is also very important because, as I said earlier, we are implementing such the new things in real life. So if you look at the boxes outside of this circle, this is the inputs. What kind of the inputs we are bringing to this steps of our intervention. Yeah. So if you look at the inner circle, there is all the target groups and stakeholders, partners who are involved in these activities, yeah, these interventions. And in the middle here, that is our activities we have been implemented within that steps. Yeah. So here is the map of Mongolian with the icons. The icon represents the project sites. If you look at these icons, it's quite well distributed throughout the country. Yeah. So here, our achievements here in terms of the figures in numbers. So I'm not going through in deep about our numbers. But I would like to mention some of the figures here. So if on the top, this is the ECL beneficiaries. We reached the 8,773 beneficiaries. Among that, the modern 8,000 graduated from the ECL training. So according to the international classification, the standard, the 50,500 modern 500 the graduates reached to the ECL minimum skill just after the training program, which is quite good. Spending after a long time from that training, definitely the social emotional skills improved dramatically, I would say. So among that graduates, the portion about 40% participate in the pitch events to get the funds to implement their entrepreneurial idea. So if you look at there is some number of the small grant awardees there, and in total the 360 the small projects be supported, which means the 360 youth teams implemented the entrepreneurial and business idea in real life using these small grants. So linked with the market is quite important. So we have some figures here. Out of this small grant awardees, almost more than 90% of them somehow linked their ideas with the market. Yeah, so they do something, so need to sell it to their products, their services in the real market. Yeah, so in that sense, linkage with the market is quite important. The experience sharing is quite also important. Sharing their experiences each other and learning from the provinces, other districts is also quite important. As the continuation of this activities, I would say the ECL training and small grant, the mechanism. So we established the entrepreneur clubs at the schools based on the interest. Yeah. So this is the kind of the continuation, the activities even after beyond the project life. Yeah. So we implemented our project 35 secondary schools, 6 trade schools, vocational schools, and also we have the another ideas, another pilot activities, which is the school-based enterprise. I will talk about this later on a little bit more. We implemented this idea, school-based enterprise idea, in 6 schools. This idea is actually quite important to support the students who are learning, who are doing the business, who are improving their social emotional skills. So we implemented the project in 25 lifelong education centers. So in order to implement the project, some kind of the multi-stakeholders, the mechanism to support the project implementation is quite important. In that sense, we established the project steering committee, provincial level, the project council, and also the district level councils. Yeah. So the teachers are quite important to implement this project. So that's why we prepared our ECL teachers and counselors. So I will talk about this later on as well. And as the continuation of the project, we prepared the master ECL teachers who has the right to prepare the the ESL teachers in their schools, their cities, their communities, so on. We hired the business coaches in each of the provinces, the 5 coaches, and then also the mentors. The field mentors is quite important to implement their ideas, because this is the quite new activities, quite new phenomenon in our education settings. Okay, then I move from here. So in order to prepare the ESL, the framework, we reviewed the number of the international frameworks, the models. Yeah, so also they mentioned about the international the frameworks, international activities. For instance, the 21st century skills, social emotional learning, entrepreneurship education, and the social innovation education, so on. Yeah, based on the best practice of the international the models and the frameworks, we have developed our own ESL framework. Yeah. Okay. I just summarize like that way. If you like go to the in depth, some of the selected the international the framework, you can just search through the Google, put those names. You can easily find number of the cases, number of the models in the world. So when we developed the ESL framework, we considered those things at the core. We take out some selected skills and mindsets and knowledge for our ESL content. So also we had to think about the learning cycles, which would be the more innovational and experimental and based on the act and the reflection. That is the learning cycle we selected for this ESL training. So the learning approach is quite obvious, which should be the action oriented, not based on the lecture. Yeah, so it is based on the problem based approach, and obviously it would be the supportive approach we use at our research framework. So you are this slide. You can see that the which core skills we selected for this ESL training, what kind of the mindsets we take out for this training, and as well as the knowledge. Yeah. So I would say that this ESL course, it is nationally developed training package, I would say. There is very much the possibilities to take out and adopt the international the training courses, which is similar with this, but we decided that we have to develop our own based on the international trends and based on our youth interest and participation. So as I said before, this ESL training course was developed based on expansive learning theory, which is one of the modern theory which applied into our the teaching learning practice. Expansive learning theory is mainly dealing with collective learning and also the experimental learning, yeah, doing something and learning from that collectively. That is the main features of this expansive learning theory. Yeah, this based on also the project-based learning approach, and this training contains very participatory and team working methods are used in this training. Yeah. Training duration is only 66 hours, but there is some specific things there. We have the training hours divided into 2 streams. One is the in-class activities, mostly this facilitated by the teachers, ESL teachers, facilitators, and some of the hours for out of class activities, which is the mostly dealt by the students' initiative, so on. Yeah. So during the project time, we organized this as the extracurricular activity. We're not strictly the linked with the ordinary school training program. Yeah. So those selected the 6 skills, each one has the sub-skills, the 5 skills under each of the core skills. For instance, self-awareness, social and cultural awareness, creativity, innovation, and communication, teamwork, and critical thinking skills. We had selected for this training. But the selection is really up to you. Yeah, what kind of these skills you really need to develop among the young generation? It really depends on that. But we follow the international trends, especially the World Bank, the socio-emotional skill framework, and they practice skills which are identified by the World Bank. Yeah. So also we deal with the big 5, the domains, the psychological domains. Yeah. So we try to build up the growth mindset, entrepreneurial mindset. In order to develop the mindset and core skills, we need to have the knowledges. Yeah. So we 5 categories of the knowledge selected for this training, which is the entrepreneurship knowledge, business planning knowledge, the mobilizing and implementing knowledge, and financial literacy, digital literacy, so on. Yeah. So if you look at the training content, we have the 7 modules. At the beginning modules more deal with the entrepreneurial skills, social emotional skills, and later on by the module 3, they more working on the entrepreneurial ideas, which the local issues and solution to that local issues, and some the ideas how to solve those things. So based on that, they became they own the small enterprises as a team. So they bring the idea within that the small enterprise, mini enterprise team. So on. Yeah. So here is graph a little bit more about that expansive learning theory, which has the 7 steps, which started from the questioning, and then the analyze, historical analyze, and actual empirical analyze, then to bring the solution and bring the new model, and implementing that new model and reflecting that model and consolidating that model into new practice. All activities follow that the stages. Okay. So here the screenshot of our training packages. Actually, this training package in Mongolian language. Later on, we translated into the English for the international audience, but we implemented it in Mongolian language. So I would say that if you take some examples from here, you have to make it your own, because it is not used one in English. Our translation is unofficial translation. It's just an example for you, for our international audience, international users. So we have the ESL framework, which was developed in the English language. We have the ESL curriculum and teacher consoles manual, the student's handbook. In addition to those, the training materials, we also use the 19 types of the supporting videos. Some of them is just took from the international best practice with the copyright permission. Some of them is developed by our own way. Yeah, that is very, very helpful. So if you like to see this, the training modules, it's available in those the links in Mongolian language, even in the English. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't translate that supporting videos into the English. Some of them is English videos actually, with some the Mongolian translation into the Mongolian. So here's only 2 slides which showing the real how to look at our training materials on. Yeah. For instance, this is the topic 1, my entrepreneurship skills. The subtopic is the self-awareness and self-efficacy. Yeah. So here, as you can see, the training objectives here, and what can the tools, videos will be used in this training. It's very much clearly mentioned at the first page. Then we have the very rich, because it's very this the training, the matters very less use the very continuous the long the text. Yeah, we have a lot of the exercises and practical tools are there. For instance, here exercise 1, which is the identification of the emotions. Yeah, so they can work on that. So if you look at the another page, there is some exercise again here, and also some tests are there, and also they put the own way how to do something, so on. Yeah, so such kind of the very participatory and approaches are used in this training. Also, it is very much encouraged the learning process. So in terms of the training methodology, as we know that two main the bodies who are participating in the teaching learning process, yeah, which is the teachers and students. Each one has their own responsibilities. Yeah, we really try to increase the students' responsibility from I do it from the teacher side. This is more likely linked with the teacher lecture to the do it alone, yeah, independently learn. This is the international the training methodology we have to use in our training class, which is very important to implement this ESL training in real life. So also we have the blended ESL, the mode of our research training, because it was the COVID time. Sometimes the school closure happened, so it's really difficult to continue our research training. And also for the out of school youth, they have some difficulties to attend the everyday class. Yeah, so that's why we created the blended mode, especially for our out of school youths. So here I would like to highlight the international frameworks here, which is the backward designing module and community of inequality framework, which is the very common internationally have to use this kind of the blended learning. Yeah, so based on that international the frameworks, we developed our own the blended ESL the frameworks. We use the special domain for that. We use the Google search for a nonprofit for this training. We use the tablet and teacher's tablet and student's tablet, and all the tablets has the registration and protection system, which allows only use for this training purpose only. So we also implemented the created and implemented the very special learning management system for the blended training, which allows to use the training online and offline. So yeah, so I'll leave it here. So we also developed a number of the handbooks and the manuals on how to implement the grant, how to apply to the grant, and all the mentorship, the manuals and posters, so on. You can look at through this link the manuals, but unfortunately those manuals only in Mongolian language. We didn't translate it into the English. Yeah? So, but if you look at it's very visible and easy to follow on. Yeah, so you can look at just idea on that. So the pitch day is quite important, the event within this project. So in order to give the financial assistance to implement their entrepreneurial idea in real life to the youth teams, we created such the pitch day activities at the community level. If you look at this portal, the number of the community the citizens and the students came to this event and to learn how how the students presented their idea, how they selected from this idea. That is quite big the cultural event at the SOM in order to support the ownership and the involvement in this the activity, so on. Yeah. Okay, I leave it here. So at the end of the project, we try to bring all our the success stories and achievements into the one booklet. This is the booklet you can download through this the link. This booklet in Warp language, in English, in Mongolian as well. You can also use the QR codes to go to the some real histories, videos, and to read the other success stories. So on. Yeah, here is two the good practice I have selected. First one is abandoned eggs, which the non-formal lifelong education center youths they started the chicken business. So at the beginning, they had only the 25 chicken to give the eggs, and then nowadays they increased their business quite a lot. They received the additional fund from the other resources, and nowadays they supply the egg needs for the villages, so which is quite good. Second on the light bulb, it is the secondary school students. They started their idea from the decoration for the party. Now they became the event organizer. Yeah, so very demanding business in their area. So okay, I have to move from here. So teacher preparation is quite important. I would like to, because of time issue, yeah, I would like to just mention several of things here. And we collect the expression of the interest from the teachers based on their interest. We prepare the teachers, and our teacher training linked with the teacher and service training system in Mongolia, which is quite important. And also we use the online platform to share their ideas. So yeah, so if you like to look at the video about the ESL training methodology and features, you can look at through this the link. So we use this number of the supporting mechanism and activities to implement this project in real life. So some of them, as I already mentioned it, I just leave it here. And so here I would like to a little bit mention about the school-based enterprise. It is based on that idea. Why don't the schools become the social enterprise, yeah, in order to make the practice among the students, in order to get some own income to support the academic activities, so on. So in that sense, we established this idea in 6 secondary schools based on their interest, based with the business proposals, so on. Yeah, so probably you know about that. Teach Amen to Fish, to one of the organizations, civil society organization from the UK. They announced annually the school enterprise challenge. Now they start the registration. Yeah, so our schools participate in the international the initiatives as well. So it's learned a lot from that initiative. So in terms of the mainstreaming the ESL training into our education settings, the ESL training now already became part of the Tibet schools, the curriculum as one of the mandatory class by the decree, the Minister of Education and Science, and also the Minister of Education and Science approved the secondary education settings, extracurricular activity, the guideline, and ESL training became part of that guideline. And regarding to the lifelong education center, we also talked about the authorities. The ESL can become one of the model program for the lifelong education center. We're still talking about that. Okay, I leave it here. So here's a number of the links which you will get some in-depth the idea, implementation, most of them in English language, real language, so you can download from here and look at some good experiences here, how we implemented our activities here. Some of them is real cases of the students and youths. So at the last, not least, I would like say the conclusion, the selected conclusion for your consideration. Yeah. So first of all, the public awareness raising activity is quite essential if you implement such kind of the project. Secondly, I would say that our ESL package was developed based on the international trends and local needs and youth active participation. It is, I would say that it is day program, not ours. It is not international program. It's they developed together with us this training program. That's why it's quite interesting to them, quite active to participate in this program. That is quite important, I would say that. Entrepreneurial idea, it is the kind of the tool to support implementation of the social emotional skills, yeah, because we really don't want to prepare the startups and future millionaires within this project. We really try to build up the social emotional skills among our young generation, yeah. And small grant, it is quite good the mechanism to score the social emotional skills and build entrepreneurial growth mindset, because we're providing real money. They bring the real idea. The implementation of those entrepreneurial ideas real in the real life. That is really good to learn a lot while participating in these activities. So I would say that is very important. So next one is the teacher preparation is quite important, I would say, because the teachers, as nowadays the teachers are a bit different from this kind of the participatory experimental ideas. So the changing mind of the teachers is quite important. It takes longer time. We need to have the very special training to them, and also provide some of the learning opportunities among them. Yeah. So next one is the local stakeholders engagement is quite important. Yeah. If we just implemented this idea only in the school, it is easier for us, but involving the local stakeholders, including the administration and the private sector and civil society organizations and parents, it's quite important, I would say. So last not least, the participatory monitoring is it was one of the success factor for us, yeah, because they monitor by their own way, yeah. We provide the techniques how to do the monitoring. That is quite important in terms of the bring the engagement, deep engagement, and the interest to involve with these activities, yeah. So that is all very briefly about the ESL project, how it have been implemented in Mengge. So later on, if you have some questions related to this, I really like to answer to them. Thank you so much for your attention and patience. Thank you.